It's been a minute. It's been way too dang long. We've been doing stuff. We've been doing things. So, since the last time I made a video like this, I think the last video I made like this where I was just kind of talking about things that I wanted to talk about, I was in a different room. Lots of things have changed. I got a list of things I want to talk about. One of them is why I've been absent for a little while. The main issue there is, well, I guess the best way to say it is I'm struggling. You know, if I'm being completely honest with myself and everything that I got going on, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with maintaining all of the different things. I'm struggling with getting better at the different things. And I had to start prioritizing what I was really doing. And that boiled down to setting a release schedule for music for myself and then moving forward from there. Once that was accomplished, I felt better. Taking a step back from every one of the extra things to really hyper focus on that, I think allowed me to take a little bit of a break. Wasn't that I needed one, I just think that with all of that I was trying to accomplish, I was doing too much. That I kind of got from a consensus of multiple other people, not directly necessarily people in my life, but yes, people in my life as well, but also other people that I regularly consume content from them. And I'm just trying to be better at every aspect of being me. So that way I can be better for everybody that is involved with me, whether that be my family, whether that be colleagues, whether that be people that I work with outside of my actual 9 to 5. You know, I get that they are, you know, kind of like colleagues as well, but when you're providing a service for somebody, it's a little bit different than when you're providing work for somebody, right? So when you work for somebody, you are providing them a service, but in some regard, that service isn't dictated to the amount of credibility that you have. A good example of that would be I've worked my butt off for almost 10 years at Kimlink. That has progressively helped me get to the position at Kimlink that I like, and then that was taken from me. The only reason it was taken from me is an arbitrary reason that makes zero sense if you really think about it. I'm not upset with that, but the point is that's not me providing a service. That's me working for them and they pay me. So therefore, they get to dictate to me how or what I'm allowed to do. That's not the same as providing a service. So, for example, just kind of leading into a different thing that I wanted to talk about, photography and videography. These are two things that I've been passionate about for a while, and I really never broke it down in that sense or even came to that conclusion that I was really passionate about those things until I started doing them more. So, with the culmination of working on photography and offering other people to do their events, as I came across individuals who seemed like they had content to post, but a lot of the content that they were posting wasn't the video quality, you know, like it's just a, you know, like a random person in the crowd's phone. You know, that's okay and that's awesome to have those kinds of clips and whatnot, but that isn't like a certain quality or a certain standard of quality. In the midst of that, you know, I reached out to Scrap, and if you are any part of the channel to any capacity, maybe you've seen A Day in the Life, which is a series I started a few months ago, probably more than a few months ago now, to kind of reutilize the footage that I was filming for other people in a way that promoted them, which is something I'm also into, marketing, content creation. And I guess in a way, I was trying to, again, like I said, repurpose the content that I was filming for them. I wanted to, I don't know, make a YouTube video out of it, and then that kind of turned into almost like a small docu-series, because the more that I fidgeted with the first episode, the more that I played around with it, and I was like, man, this plays an awful lot like a documentary. The more that I played around with it and edited it, I started to think of different things, like what would be good ideas here, what would this be there, and then I realized I wasn't just making a YouTube video anymore. You know, I wasn't just making just a docu-series. This had actually progressed into a type of videography that was very much filmmaking. I didn't really realize how much of making a YouTube video really was just filmmaking broken down into almost the basics. And then the more I thought about that, the more I realized, oh, the people that I really enjoy watching, that's mostly because of, it's not exactly the quality, you know what I mean? And it doesn't actually matter the quality of content you're putting out, as long as what you're doing is something that people want to see. It could also be something that somebody doesn't necessarily want to see, but the algorithm thinks that they want to see it or need to see it. In the midst of doing all of this, I found out that, you know, I want to learn more. I want to be better. As far as the docu-series, the only reason I really haven't been really gung-ho on just pumping out the other episodes that I have in the works and that I have filmed already is like I wanted to learn more. I wanted to be better. The first 2 episodes were like tiers higher than anything I'd ever accomplished before as far as videography or film. I want it to have a bit of a format. I want each episode to have a bit of a message, but I want it to be constant progression towards the next level, you know? And that's kind of what from episode 1 to 2 really was. I think that the level of quality between the 2 episodes, or at least the level of structure, was a bit better. I do need to get better overall at it. Definitely running into some technical difficulties, and obviously I did something wrong. Again, that all leads back into the why I've been absent. You know, when you have 1 or 2 things that you're doing at a time, you can really maintain that, right? When you have 10 plus things that you're trying to maintain at a time, and all of you're being pulled this direction, that direction, and all of these other different directions, it makes it really hard to focus. I struggle with that already. I could be in the middle of doing something, get distracted, and then completely forget that I was ever doing the thing until it crosses my mind again. That's not good. I don't want to be like that, and I continue to progress forward. Again, all of my attention has been pulled so many different ways that I had to prioritize what I was really trying to accomplish. I was trying to accomplish getting at least 1 song released every 2 weeks for the remainder of the year. I sort of accomplished that enough to make it to where I was comfortable with what I was capable of releasing and had a release for the beginning of the year. I now am in a state where I need to record regularly again, get more songs finished, so that way I can create a regular release schedule. I need to prioritize my time. Part of that priority is constantly being in front of my audience, the people on YouTube. I want to use my YouTube to talk about different things that I want to talk about. Doesn't really matter what I talk about. It's just me talking about things that interest me, things that make me think, things that I'm doing that I think are bettering my life, things that I'm doing that I think are worsening my life. Kind of like a video diary almost to some degree. I got all of the songs that I wanted released. I now am in the midst of again recording new songs. I am also working on writing an album. It was an idea I had a while ago. The album probably won't have a set release date right now. Pied Piper was a great release. It was a song that I wrote a while ago with my brother and then I reworked it to release with a couple of friends of mine, Nick Dreams and Brax, aka Kid Brax. The third song, No Voice, which I just recently released a second version of that song, is out. There's a culmination in that song of all of the things that I had to deal with internally over the years and then deal with that. I now have, I think it's 5 or 6 released songs. Yes, because Never Signing came out, and that song was, to be honest, is one of my favorites. That song kind of just happened. I was watching an Upper Echelon video, and I came up with this line in my head, and I was like, ooh, I like that. And then I kind of just ran with it, and that's how that song happened, which is pretty neat. If you haven't heard any of my new songs, or whatever the case may be, and maybe you're just here just to hear my views and opinions, or maybe you're just here because, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really sure who is seeing these videos. I don't know if it's a majority old, a majority new, or what. I am working on an album. I am steadily releasing music through the name Officially As Is. And I want to progressively talk about things on my YouTube channel in kind of like a podcast format. It may be very similar to kind of like what I'm doing now until I start to find guests, and I will just title them the Ruby Cloud Podcast. I don't know when it will fully launch, but I do want to launch it this year. That's the idea behind it. I think also putting an idea behind it will give me, I guess, a bit of a schedule for it, you know. When I want to talk about something, I just hop down, I record a podcast, and I talk about it, and then post it, and then maybe start getting some guests to talk to, interview, talk to them about themselves, pick their brain about different ideas that I have, get different views and opinions. I do like conversating with people, so a podcast is like kind of like a no-brainer. Not to mention, in the group of people that I have, nobody's really doing that. They're really hyper-focused on music, which is good. That's good. That allows different avenues of people who do different things to, you know, help them out by giving them different avenues to promote their music. Goals for Ruby Cloud Radio, which is also kind of a goal of Ruby Cloud Entertainment. For Ruby Cloud Radio, I really would like to get a concrete team together that really is consistently submitting music, nominating music, reaching out to people, talking to them, seeing if they would submit their own music, see if they want to be involved, see if they want to just be a listener. Maybe they'll find somebody that they want to collaborate with on Ruby Cloud Radio. And more of like a full-on street team of individuals that are consistently talking about Ruby Cloud Radio. You know, last year I finally launched Ruby Cloud Radio on Spotify, and it's doing pretty good, you know. Like, we got 10 saves in a single few months. Technically, it wasn't even a whole year I was working on that project. There are things that I want to, like, milestones, I guess, set for each of the different things that I want to accomplish. I really want to get the Ruby Cloud Entertainment, Ruby Cloud Radio team together, so that way there's consistently people talking about it, and it's not just me that's talking about it. You know, I try to make at least one post every single day to, you know, just kind of keep the word going, you know, keep it going. You know, the more you do, the more success you have. Ruby Cloud Photography is something that I really want to focus on over the course of the next year and a half, as far as doing photo shoots for individuals, whether those be artists, family members, friends, clients, anybody who is looking for photography or somebody to just follow them around. Maybe they're doing a family outing, or, you know, maybe I could offer my services as far as some of the family videos that I do, because I have a family channel as well called Our Adventures. We do certain kinds of trips and whatnot. I will bring my filming equipment with, and I will film us doing that, and then I upload it to YouTube. You know, why not? It's a free storage platform, and I enjoy doing it. It makes it to where I can make home movies that I at any point in time can go back and watch and just relive the moment. I can share it with family members if they would like to see it. I try to make them entertaining as well. That's something I really want to focus on getting better at. We were hired to do a wedding, and that's an opportunity that I don't necessarily want to just scoff at. I don't want to turn it away. It's a bit scary, you know, all things considered. My lady is much better at photography than I am, and she has some certain views and opinions that I don't necessarily agree with, but that doesn't make them not real. They're definitely real inside of me to some degree. Like, I know that I'm not capable at my current, like, if somebody asked me to do a wedding tomorrow, would I do it? And not in the sense that they think that I would, but in a year and a half, yes. If I can't film or shoot a video in a year and a half from now, with the skills that I have now, adding all of the skills that I should obtain over the course next year and a half, like, it sounds sad, but there's like no hope for me. And that's just the reality. You know, if you are doing something and in a year and a half you have not reached the next level of that something in any way, shape, or form, you're not really trying. And, you know, maybe to some people that sounds harsh, but that's how I think about myself. And anything that I've ever dedicated myself to, I have gotten better at, especially over the course of a year of just consistently doing that thing. I need to be better. I want to be better. And I highly recommend seeking out things that make you think and get out of the little bubble that you find yourself in, because everybody finds themselves in a bubble at one point in their life where you're just so comfortable with knowing what you already know that you're not actually doing anything to change. What made me realize this is when I really sat down and thought about who I am as a person. And like, what areas have I improved in, and what areas am I exactly the same person as I was 10 years ago? And in some degree, I get the comfortability there, but if you can't grow and change and learn to be the best version of you, why should anybody take you seriously? And if you are always consistently being the exact same person that you've always been, and I'm not saying change every aspect about you, there are parts of me that will remain the same forever, but those aren't the areas that need improving. And I think a lot of people are just really dishonest with themselves, and they don't actively take that next step into admitting, like, oh, I suck. I suck here, I suck here, and I suck here. And if you don't ever actively just, like, you know, I don't mean to say belittle yourself, like, because there are people who do that stuff all the time, and it doesn't benefit them. And the only reason it doesn't benefit them is because they're not actively doing anything to change the things that they're upset about. You know, if I come home every single day and I'm like, man, this house looks like shit, and then I make my food and I sit down on the couch and I watch TV all night and I go to bed and then I wake up and I go to work tomorrow and then I come home and I'm like, hey man, this house still looks like shit. And then I make my food and I sit down and I watch TV and then I do that again tomorrow. That little voice that's telling you that your house isn't in order, that's the little part of you that you're supposed to listen to. That's the little part of you that wants you to be better. That, you know, like, people always say you got that angel and devil on your shoulder, and and I think that a lot of people's view there is like real skewed. You know, the angel and the devil on your shoulder really should be what needs to be done versus what you want to do. The devil is what you want to do, and the angel is what you need to do. Yeah. All things considered, this all boils down to really one thing: music. Music is my passion. Anything remotely involving music is, in my opinion, worth being a part of, especially if you know somebody who makes music. I want to be a part of what the music makes me feel. I want to be a part of something that helps other people continue to do that thing. Yeah. Keep learning, everybody. Keep trying to be better. Just be yourself. That doesn't mean be the bad versions of yourself, because there are bad versions of us inside of all of us, myself included. And I'm working on that. You should too. Big things are coming. Big things. See you guys next time.